Hello, worldies, and welcome back to my naughty little channel. How are you feeling today? I am so excited to bring you part 3 of the psychology of the big back. So, today I want to talk about how I've noticed that when your back is so freaking big, you seem to be subconscious about how much space you take up. You're not very graceful, you're very just clumsy, you're just big. You're taking up so much space, and you're taking up space even if you're like a demure big person, even if you're a, like an understated or a shy, a quiet big person. You literally physically take up so much space. And so I feel like when it comes to exoticals, that is thin or fit and just beautiful in the area, I feel like it's triggering and they almost want to project their bodily bigness, their physical bigness onto you. Because, when you're the skinny girl, when you're the fit girl, when you're the pretty girl, we have diversity in our personality. So some of us are extroverted, some of us are introverted, some of us, have a different mood for different occasions and different spaces that we are in. But it's like they want to make us take up as much space as they feel like or as much as they physically are taking up, or they want to try to control how we take up space, because even when we are not physically taking up a lot of space because we are just smaller, physically smaller, you know, when you're very beautiful, people are going to notice you. When you have things like, small arms, you have small legs, you're dainty, people actually see you the same way where when you're outside, people may see a child by themselves and everybody's flags go up and it's like, where's this child? There should be big body here. There should be a big person here. What is going on? Why is this child by themselves? People kind of almost infantilize pretty and small and skinny women in the same type of way. And so, when we're out, like when I'm out, people are like, oh, do you need help reaching that? Do you need help carrying that? Can I help you get this to your card? Can I help you get this where you're going? Like, it's, they just notice you when you are more dainty, when you're graceful, when you are feminine, even if your personality is not like that. So for us, whether we are more, some of us exoticals, we are more brash, we're more loud, we're more rambunctious, we're more like outgoing and extroverted and stuff and loud. Some of us are, more demure, more quiet, more shy type of people. Either way, when you have a big back that's hating on you and they're mad because their body's so freaking big, they want to just magnify every single thing that you do. They're like, oh, well, I'm big. Well, I'm big and fat. Well, now you're big. You're big and, important. You're big and getting attention now. How do you feel? And like, to be honest, a lot of us know how to just transmute it or alchemize it or set boundaries or, leave if you're being a freaking weirdo. Like, I was just telling somebody today that I'm very direct. I'm good at setting boundaries. But if I'm around you and it feels like I got to tell you no, or I got to set a boundary like 16 times with you, oh, baby, no. Because it's not even going to get that point. Like, I'll set the boundary like the first time when you didn't know. And it's like, I'm kind of like a 3 strike system for the most part, but it depends on how you're doing because a lot of times it might even be shorter than 3 strikes. But I'm going to tell you, when you don't know, you don't know. Once you know, once you know, then no, you gotta go. That's what I want to talk about today for, the big back psychology. So I was just kind of thinking like the way they try to magnify you and make you bigger is they try to ask you intrusive questions. Have you ever noticed? But what if exoticals asked ugly women intrusive questions? If you're someone who relates to the content on this channel, then the chances are you're used to the pretty experience, exotical or not, whether you've always been pretty or it's the new attention you've attracted after you make a drastic change. You know what it feels like to be pretty. Being pretty feels like being watched and thought about all the time. People are watching to see what the pretty girl is doing, who she's dating, who she's friends with, What workout is she doing? What's her diet? How much does she eat? Does she have an eating disorder? Does she eat enough? How much protein is she eating? How many carbs? How does she like her salad? Does she eat a lot of dressing with her salad or a little bit of dressing with her salad? Like literally, that's how it is. They're trying to literally figure out, and they're trying to copy and paste. I just watched another video where this girl was like, they're trying to do the same thing you're doing when you're smaller. It's like, ma'am, you can't even replicate what I'm doing because it's not going to do the same thing for you. We have a different amount of maintenance calories. Then people, they'll even be like, they want to know, does she know she's pretty? Like you're not, you can be pretty. You can be pretty, but you can't try to be pretty. You can't say you're pretty. You can't talk about being pretty. And you can't. Oh my God, it's so insane. The pedestal is crazy. Like, does she think she's prettier than me? Does she think, for men sometimes even, it's like, does she think she's too pretty to date me? Like, being intimidated and stuff. And then, like, does she, like, does she like having pretty privilege? Does she have it? What type? Who gives it to her? Where does it work? Who gives her a pedestal? And then they'll even take it very personally and come up with like these really strange tactics, and it will stick out because they're different. Like Exoticals United says a lot that when it comes to your pretty privilege, you're going to receive that from men and from non-jealous women. I'm a woman who's non-jealous. I give out pretty privilege to the pretty beautiful women I see. And non-jealous women give it to me all the time too. And then the same thing with men. So it's like you can always kind of just tell, especially I would say it's like if you're in proximity with somebody for a long time, if they're jealous, it's going to start to show because it's going to be like all of the non-pretty women are nice. They're not weird. They're not trying to put you under a pedestal, like under a microscope. They're not trying to ask about your level up and unless it's like in our community where we are just talking about it together and we are sharing and swapping tips. That is very different. It's so different, and the reason it's different is because a lot of them, when they're trying to level up in social climb, they're doing it in secret, in public. They're like trying to put down social climbing, trying to put down trying to get fit, trying to put down trying to look pretty, trying to look down beautification, putting down, wanting to be fit, wanting to fast, wanting to work out, wanting to actually make sure that you're eating a diet that you don't have to outwork, making sure that you actually are hydrated. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is so random. There's this big back that's been in my life. Big back up in my life that I just got out of my life. And what's so insane to me is like, this is so funny to me, I think, because I just, as an adult, like, okay, no judgment on this channel. Let me just tell you, I'm not going to judge you. And if you want to be brave and say, like, oh, yeah, I'm working on my big back ways and I do this, like, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, like, unfollow me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm really not judging you, but I really have a question. So I have like my knockoff Stanley or whatever. Like I will invest in quality if it's something that I want, but I really didn't want a luxury name brand water bottle. There's other stuff that I want, and I don't judge people who have a real Stanley. Like, hey, maybe one day I'll have enough money that a Stanley, which I don't care about that much, is something where it's like everything I have is just name brand like that. But I got a knockoff Stanley anyways. And my Stanley, when you like, okay, if you see me with my like, this is absolutely insane. My Stanley is gonna have water in it. My Stanley might have like some Oxy Shred or like a pre-workout. It might have like a smoothie in it. It might have tea. It's never had coffee in it, but like I can even see you having coffee in there. But like as an adult, like this big bag who was at my job that I just left, literally I found out after being around her for a long time, never knowing this, she carried around this really cute water bottle or like a thermos. And apparently, what she's been trying to keep cold all day, every day, is some freaking juice. So all day, those 8 hours that we were at the job together, she was not drinking water. She was drinking coffee. She was drinking soda. She was not drinking water. So I'm like, so when were you getting your water in? Because, like, there's a lot of water you're supposed to be drinking just to be a healthy human. And then, like, especially if you're trying to lose weight, and she always made it seem like she was trying to lose weight. And, like, looking at her, she's the type of person where, like, I guess just socially you would assume that you wouldn't be satisfied being that weight and having your body be shaped like that. So I would assume you're trying to lose weight if I didn't know you, but no, like, having been in proximity, I knew, she was trying to lose weight. So I'm like, you're trying to lose weight, but you're carrying around juice as a grown ass woman. That's crazy to me. And she was really telling me, like, she was like, oh, I got to switch this out. Oh, I really do have to put water in there. And I'm like, there's no judgment on this channel. Again, if you carry around juice, I don't have an issue with you. Like, what the, I drink juice. Like, I really don't drink juice that much. Most skinny people don't drink juice that much. But it's like, it's even like the kind of juice you're drinking. Like, okay, you're telling me if you found out that, like, an adult, like a pretty girl, like a grown woman, like Lori Harvey, you're telling me it would be normal if Lori Harvey was just drinking like Hawaiian punch juice in her water bottle every day? Like, people, I'm like, okay, that's cognitive dissonance, because how are you gonna act like you socially act like in the conversations we're having, you're acting like, oh, you're trying to be healthy, oh, you're trying to, work out. And I'm not tracking what you're doing, I'm not tracking what you're doing, but you're tracking what I'm doing. The only reason I notice these things about people is because when it comes to the big backs, when you're the fit person, these conversations come up. It's like, okay, when you're in a group of like exoticals, pretty girls, fitness and stuff, obviously just topically it's going to come up, pretty privileged, stuff like that, social climbing, our Discord, our different spaces that we have that we congregate in, and in real life as well, with, being at events, getting ready for events, getting ready to go out, getting ready for a date, talking to your friends and stuff like that. It's just going to be like a normal conversation, but it's going to show, like, you're not going to be talking about social climbing and then your friends also, like, your friends acting like social climbing is a bad thing. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, with big backs, it's big backs will say they don't want to have a big back, but they also will demonize wanting to unbig your back. And they will demonize the women who don't have big backs. Make that make sense? But these intrusive questions, I feel like they make it a personal task of theirs. They focus with their big back on being concerned with your pedestal, and they stick out like a sore thumb because they don't want to give you your pedestal. And it's not like, it's like, okay, whatever. It's like, I validate myself, and I have my what's it called, I work on healing my micro insecurities and things like that, and I have an internal locus of control. I internally validate myself. I change things about myself that don't cross my boundaries, that will actually improve my confidence, and then I walk around with that confidence. I don't think I could with that confidence, once I change the things and, glow up and all that good stuff and level up in life and whatnot. But how are you gonna, like, you can't, how are you gonna act like you don't want to have a big back, but you act like people who don't have big backs? So the people that you're supposedly aspiring to be, these are the people with the aspirational bodies, the aspirational habits and lifestyles and diets, but you don't want to do what they do. You want to look like them, and you don't want to do what they do. Lori Harvey, I'm sorry to tell you, but I bet you, I don't know her. We're actually not friends. She seems like she'd be a nice person, never heard her speak or anything, so I don't know how you can never speak and people can hate you and have so much evil to say about you. But that's what happens when you're the pretty girl. If like, I never heard that girl speak a peep, never heard her utter a word, but she's got haters upon haters upon haters because she's a beautiful exotical. They want to be the one who doesn't make you feel like that. They want to stick out. That's their way of getting attention. You get attention for being beautiful. They get attention for being big, like absolutely large, for like needing to get to plane tickets, and for like needing to not be able, needing legal assistance or whatever, or a news story because they weren't let into an Uber because the driver was literally afraid for their tires. Okay, I'm back. I just needed a minute. But they don't like how much negative attention they regularly receive as a result of their habits and stuff like that. Like I've even been around I've been around a big back, and I haven't told this story. I've been wanting to tell this story for a while now. I don't think I told this story before. There's this big bag who she would always just stuff herself, and she was always dealing with stomach problems, and she also didn't have the social etiquette to not talk about it to people just openly. Like her the state of her digestive system, which was never good, was always just common knowledge and public knowledge. So that's negative attention that she would be receiving all the time, because it's like that's not a positive. People aren't going to be like, "Oh, you got the bubble guts, great, me too." Like I don't you okay, you have that, that's great. Like maybe you should stop. What did you eat? Like I track my body. I pay attention to my body. I listen to my body. If I if I have discomfort or troubles from eating something, I'm going to like, "Okay, so what was I eating? Okay, I ate this salad. Okay, do I have I had the salad before? Like, is there a certain way that I usually eat that salad? Did I get like an extra pepper or something like that? Oh, okay, that's what kind of made me. Maybe I will try it. Maybe I'll do them on the side next time and kind of test that. What else have I changed lately? No, that she just would just like, hey, just like that is absolutely insane. That obviously you're constantly dysregulated. Your digestive system is always dysregulated too. But there was one day that like when I was first starting to be around her so often, where I was starting to notice a pattern where she would just fart all the time, and she would blow up the bathroom at our job all the time, which is to me is like, oh my god, okay, feminism, but also that's so unladylike to be farting all the time and to be blowing up the bathroom all the time. And then like you don't like do anything to like clean the bathroom after you blow up the toilet. So like when you leave the bathroom, like when I leave the bathroom, I'll go in there and freshen up and stuff like that. And when I leave the bathroom, like my pee doesn't stink. It's not gonna smell like stinky pee. I'm not gonna drop a number two at 11 in the morning in my office for us all to smell all day. Um, you're gonna leave the window closed. You're not gonna hit the Febreze. You're not gonna grab the toilet brush and some bleach and a little bit of Lysol. Everybody's job has a little bit of light. Like what? You're not gonna even attempt. You just leave the stench. You leave the skids in the bowl of the toilet. And you fart all the time. Like, even if it was just like, oh, people come and go throughout the bathroom, nobody knows it's you and stuff like that. Literally, I'm just around you, and the evidence is right there. You're farting. It's either silent and deadly, or usually I hear it, and you're just passing it off like, like I farted again, again. Cheryl, how many times are you gonna freaking fart today? How many times are you gonna fart at this job? Like that is so weird to me. And so of course you're insecure and mean all the time because you're literally trying not if that's how many times your farts if that's how many times your farts get out, how many times were you like holding in a fart and it didn't come out? So of course you're being mean to the pretty girl. She's over there looking pretty and being healthy, and her emotions are regulated, her body's hydrated, her skin is moisturized. She looks cute. She's getting compliments on how cute she looks and how good she smells. And you're over there trying to hold in a fart and being very large. So they don't want to give you a compliment. They want you to notice that they didn't give you a compliment. They want to compliment somebody else. And they want to like sneak this. I've noticed like the big backs, a lot of times they'll either directly or indirectly shade everything about you. Like they're going to shade how you eat your salad. They're going to shade the vegetables you're eating. They're going to shade, being in the sun. They're going to shade drinking a smoothie. Like some girl was telling me, or the big back, she was like, oh, she doesn't like to drink smoothies when it's hot outside. She doesn't like to drink smoothies because she can't chew them. And it's like little attitudes like that's why you're so freaking big. Like I can't control the sun, the weather's always changing. Sometimes they give the forecast and it doesn't come true. So they say it's not going to be rain, and so it's going to rain. They say it's not going to rain, then it does rain. So you're telling me that because of what and then some people, they're conspiracy theorists and they feel like people are like engineering the weather. So you're going to tell me that because of whoever evil person engineering the weather, I can't drink a smoothie and get my creatine, get my whatever protein, my veggies, my fruits and vegetables in my smoothie. I can't drink that because somebody somewhere that I can't see, that I don't know, is putting stuff in a cloud, putting it in a plane, and putting it in the air. They're making the weather. Like, are you dead serious? That's why you're a big back, because you don't allow yourself to control enough of your life. There are a lot of things I cannot control, but if I decide I want to make a smoothie, I can control that. If I decide I want to make some tea, I can control that. And it's like little things like that is stupid, because it's like, okay, like, just because you drink one smoothie in the day doesn't mean that the rest of the food that you eat for the rest of the day has to be in a liquid form. And like, they're just so extreme. Like, because you drink one smoothie, all of a sudden the rest of your calories and your nutrients for the rest of your life you're committing. Like, you can't drink like, what? And I'm not judging if you don't want to drink a smoothie when it is like colder outside. And I totally get that. But a lot of times people, like, unless they relocate, like, and it's relocation is a big thing. Sometimes where you live, it is cold, like, a lot. So I can't ever drink a smoothie, which a smoothie is a very convenient way to get your nutrients. I like to get my nutrients in. Snow is not going to keep me from drinking a freaking smoothie. Same thing with juicing. Even when, like, that's the same thing. Juicing is the same thing. Juicing, I think some people say, is even healthier than smoothies, okay? Well, you drink juice, you drink your juice in your thermos in your freaking cup all day. You drink sugary child juice for 8 hours at work in sodas, and I see you drinking no water, but you're going to complain and you're going to try to act like it's an issue, or like it's weird that I have a smoothie, at least just in front of you, at least during these 8 hours. You don't know what I do when I'm not here. Maybe I'm drinking my child juice at home. Maybe I'm rewarding myself after 8 hours of being in the office making healthy choices. Maybe I drink a juice. Maybe I drink a soda. I'm not saying that I do. I actually don't keep that stuff in my house. But I don't think that you're gonna sabotage your whole health goals if you do that. But they want to be extreme. They don't have an issue with the big back stuff. They have an issue with the non-big back stuff. You're drinking a smoothie and it becomes like you're doing something that would unbig your back, but it's cold outside. You can't unbig your back when it's cold. Like, oh my God, sometimes I feel like such a troll, but I'm so dead serious. I am dead serious about that. So I feel like they will, like, I've noticed around big backs, like, they ask intrusive questions about what you're doing, and then with that information, when they find out your habits, how you like your salad, what workouts you're doing, then they want to make subliminal comments and stories and jokes to shade those things. So they want to, you like dressing up, they're gonna shade dressing up. They're gonna shade fashion. You like, you have beauty hobbies, they're going to say there's better things to spend your money on and better things to do. Well, I'm like, hey, okay, if you want to be ugly and spend your money on a whole bunch of fried food that's not even that satisfying and makes you gassy and makes you get negative attention because you're gassy in the office all the time, but you're going to try and say that it's so trivial and beneath you to get some eyeshadow. Okay, girl, if you like it, I love it. And then they want to hurt your feelings. They actually really do. Like, being around this type of person, this can make you anxious. It can make you be tempted, if you're a people pleaser, to hold in how you're feeling. But I'm gonna put you in your place. You're not gonna. When I was younger, it was different, but now I'm older. I'm like, at the end of the day, what are you gonna do? You gonna send me to the principal's office? I'm too grown to catch any cases. I'm not ghetto like that. I don't brawl and fight and stuff, but I can defend myself if it ever came to that, and at least verbally, professionally, I'm gonna do what I need to do. And if I don't like how you're talking to me or whatever, I'm gonna say something. I'm not gonna stay in that space if I need to. And also, dark femininity. When you're the pretty girl, people fucking believe you. When you're the pretty girl, when you're actually the nice, pretty girl, when you have all these privileges stacked up, people are going to come to your aid and your defense and be your ally. So when you tell on the big freaking like literally, I seen some girl, I'm trying to think of who it was. It might have been a comment I saw on a video on another Exoticos video, I think. But somebody was saying how they literally noticed that all the bullies they've had in their life or that they've seen in their life, something like that, were literally all fat. And I'm like, that's crazy how, like, as exoticals, you get stereotyped as being like feminine and pretty and soft, and somebody who, like people I remember people were even mad at Tyla because she needed help carrying her award. Well, it's like, okay, make the award less heavy if you want to give it to a girl who has little small arms. Y'all like that little body she got when she's dancing and she's making it sweat and doing all of that, and when she's jumping it and looking good representing for South Africa. But all of a sudden it's an issue with that little body. When that little body comes with her not having strength to carry. Have you held a Grammy or whatever? I don't know what this girl done won, a VMA or something. I never held any of those awards, but maybe it's heavy. And that girl looked like she would need help. Like, but that's big bags don't know that type of stuff. Like, that's the type of stuff that skinny people don't tell everybody about. It's like when you look dainty, that's the experience. Like, nobody who was skinny or dainty, petite, fit, no, was offended by Tyla saying that she needed help carrying that award. The only people who were offended were big bags who have never needed help or have never been offered help carrying anything. They're the one who gets asked. I don't get asked to help carrying the things. I get offered because I don't look like I could carry. I could do it all by myself. So, but they're used to that. They look like, oh my God, they look large. And they want to be in charge. They want to feel in charge, and they feel like they're in charge when they're able to try to divert. Like, they see the scene going on. They see the pretty. They're the side character in your pretty girl life, your pretty girl movie, and they see you having the life you want to live, and you're like, ooh, your guys are trying to date you and getting flowers, and ooh, people are trying to take you out to lunch, and you're looking so cute, and people are like, oh my God, you smell so good, or even the things that people aren't saying, they see, because I pay attention to social interactions and body language and stuff like that. That stuff is so fascinating to me. And I literally will see the big back is over there trying to hold in a fart, trying not to knock stuff over because her surface area and her circumference is so large. And she's over there trying to do that. And she looks up or whatever, because she's the main character in her life. She looks up and she sees the pretty girl over there, like, oh my God, her life looks better. Her movie looks better. I bet you she's not trying to hold in a fart. I bet you she's not about to knock anything over because she's so big and fat. Oh my God, why is that guy, why are his feet pointed towards her? Why is he talking to me, but he's really trying to talk to her? Oh my God, why did he even ask her that question? Why did he ask her what she's doing this weekend? Oh my gosh, why is he trying to like stay here and talk? He's done with his business in this office. Why is he still trying to stay and linger? Oh my God, like, that's what they're going through over there. And I I am not the type of person who's just like, oh, boo, if you're fat, just get over it and like get not fat. Like, people have medications, people have depression, people have life, people have genetics. I don't believe in big bonedness, but people have their different things going on. But I don't like when you are hating, you're trying to put me under a microscope, then literally, I'm thinking of that clip, and white chicks were like, "Oh, so you want to talk about mamas? Like, oh, so you want to talk about people's food? So you want to talk about bodies? So you want to talk about hair? Oh, get me fired up, bitch!" Because that's how they are. They put you under the microscope, and then what? But I can't put you under the microscope though. And they subtly want to discourage you from what you're doing, the different things that you're doing that you're so excited about. So like in a pretty girl world, you're literally like, let's say you're at work or that's where I that's my experience with this. I'll say you're at work in between doing your work and stuff, you're on your lunch or wherever, whatever you got going on. You're excited about your Amazon order, your Shein order, because your cute clothes are going to fit you this summer. And you've got a new corset coming, and you've got your smoothie, add-ins, and you've got vegetables because you've got your luxury grocery cart, your luxury groceries being delivered. And you're so excited about all your pretty girl activities and your dates and your lunch and your brunch and your fitness class. That's your life. And that girl's life is literally like, how can I get her to stop living that life? How can I try to make that life suck? So they're trying to hurt your feelings. They're over there trying to get diabolical. See, but the thing about it is they try to act like they're so nice. They're this big, fat, jolly big bag. They don't even know how to embrace their dark side and really just admit that they're diabolical. They try to act like they're nice, and that's why it's so ungenuine. It's so, that's why it's an issue. It's passive aggressive. Over here, we embrace being diabolical exoticals. We don't mind tapping into our dark sides. I don't mind tapping into my dark side. They want to make you stop dressing up. They want to discourage you from doing your beauty hobbies, you know, and they're very curious about if you're going to stop. They're trying to track to see, like, okay, has she like decreased, has she fallen off any, like, they're literally so closely, they're asking questions. Are you still doing your workout? Last time you asked, I was doing my workouts, so I'm being consistent. I'm still doing my workouts. Like, why are you still asking? Have you, like, you so concerned about whether or not I'm doing my workouts? Have you started doing any workouts? Can I ask you that? You want to ask about my workout plan? Can I ask about yours? So, like, are you allowed to go up to a fat person and be like a big back and be like, oh, do you have like a workout plan? Like, I know last time we talked, you said you want to lose weight. Have you started? You want to ask me if I'm still going? Yes, I'm still going. Have you started though? Have you started, ma'am? And then when you're sitting there, they, because they're not directly getting their pretty privilege from all of the non-jealous women in the world. Like, pretty privilege is not like, I literally don't like, okay, I feel like as women we would do different things if men were not here, but I feel like what we would do is actually dress like skimpier. We wouldn't be concerned with wanting to be perceived a certain type of way. Like, man, people think that women dress skimpy now. What do you think we would do if men didn't exist? Like, the women who are non-jealous would still be out here giving each other pretty privilege, and we'd probably be showing more skin, being sexier, and just not have, because now it's like you want to tap into your dark side, but it's like at the same time you have to think about, if part of the privilege you want to receive is from men, then you do want to think about, like, am I presenting myself in a way where they're going to give me the privilege? But that's why over here, I'm a big believer in, I give myself the soft life. The softest things that I've experienced in my life have come from myself, because nobody can take it away. Nobody can say that they did it for me. And I don't have to construct myself, or contort myself into something I am not comfortable being in order to receive that and manipulate a man into giving me that. I'll just give it to myself or whatever. They are over there not getting pretty privilege from men. And so instead, they're concerned with your pretty privilege that you are receiving from men, because they are the bystander as you are receiving it, as you are receiving the positive attention. They're right there, not receiving it. And I'm not laughing at them, but it's like, hey, you come, girl. Like, I'm thinking about that meme that's like, get up here, let's dance. Like, we could literally like be lit together. Like, over here in this space, we're lit together. We're leveling up together. We're eating salads together. We're eating sprouts together. We're doing the things together. We're not hating on each other. They want to know, like, how many guys has she been out on dates with this month? And they're concerned with, would those same guys be attracted to me? And it literally never stops. And we have to go through very great lengths just to have privacy, because people are actually constantly asking, watching, investigating, and tracking the pretty girl. A lot of men and male centered women even have a hard time imagining that you center something besides men, something besides external validation and beauty standards. So it's almost like this Jezebel stereotype where just the fact that you are beautiful is like makes you evil. Like, And it doesn't even mean like I'm not you're not even walking around with your I don't know if I can say nipples, but like your nipples like I mean, hey, I'm free to nip. Um Personally, but you know, I feel sexy in a bra though. So I will wear one a lot of the times. And that's just also kind of just how my chest is set up. I need one sometimes, but uh, I don't have an issue or literally judge even if you got the biggest bitties and you're out here freeing the nip. I don't have an issue with that. Like that doesn't bother me. That like I'm like you're centering whatever you're centering in your life and whatever you're centering. I'm assuming that you're not centering people who have an issue with your nipples being out. And good for you, girl. I don't have an issue with that. I don't censor people who, like I said, I talked about what I'm working with, my equipment. That is why I use, you know, I use the tools for the equipment that I have, Um, but I really feel like even still, there, like, even when I still go braless sometimes, like, and there's something so carefree about not centering men, not like, I believe in being as comfortable as possible, like, not it's carefree, not centering like, oh, I need to be polished and stuff like that. I need to nobody my chest area must be, you know, pushed in this area and smooth right there and you cannot see, you know, a it must be smooth. You cannot see a piercing. You cannot see anything. Like it just has to be, just prim and proper. That's that prim and proper doesn't sound carefree to me. But I will say that I do feel like the bougie or like the classy Barbie, I'm thinking like Hillary Banks and stuff like that, Legally Blonde. Like I don't have an issue with that. I'm not saying like being like if that's the aesthetic that you like or the archetype, I'm very like not judgmental as far as like, I'm not gonna bend over and have my butt cheeks in the air at a nice establishment. Personally, I may do that in my home. Um, I'm friends with the girls who like to go to the types of places I like to go and take part in the types of activities at those places that I like to. And but I'm not over here just judging if you want to do that. Instead of focusing on the pretty girl, instead of asking us such intrusive questions and being all up in our business, there really actually is something, just so freeing about getting in tune with your desires and working towards achieving your desires around how you look and how you want to dress and stuff instead of focusing on the other girl. Focus on yourself. Like I'm so confused about that. Like I literally don't understand it. It doesn't compute, or I shouldn't say it doesn't compute, it computes, but I can't relate to it. And so it's like, dang, like why would you, like, now that I'm like, oh, instead of being a hater I could just like glow up. Oh wow, I'm like, bitches are still being haters in 2025. Wow. I've noticed this is especially triggering to level down women and big bags because they live in a constant state of emotional and digestive dysregulation. So their insides feel like shell shocked soldiers in a war zone. Like they're still trying to digest and recover from the last fast food, the last 5,000 calorie meal. They're like, "Oh my god, we've got another one coming. Oh my god." Like it's a lot. They're sitting there feeling like they're about to throw up, feeling like, "Hey, something's coming out of the front end, the back end, the rear end somewhere we can't fit. We cannot manage actually everything you keep overloading us with." And then the cognitive dissonance of, I want to be treated how the pretty girls get treated, but I don't want to act like them and I want to hate on them and I want to try to sabotage them, but I want to switch with them without doing what they do. Like, okay. Okay. It don't work. It just does not work. And I've noticed like I feel like their jaws, like I'll just be watching how much they're chewing, like how often I'm talking to a big back and they're chewing and I'm like, when I'm doing things with my jaw, let me just say that when I'm doing things with my jaw that people do with jaws, um, my jaw gets tired. So I'm like, hold on, your jaw must get tired from eating all that food. Like you're sitting there, like you working that jaw, you working that mouth. And I heard this big back at my job. I'm like my ex job now. Oh my god, I just quit my job. I'm so freaking happy. But she was trying to talk with the big back at my job. She like when she was talking down on drinking smoothies because of like missing chewing her food and stuff. It just doesn't understand, or it doesn't compute to me. I don't understand. Like, wouldn't you miss being out of breath more? Like, it's just a workout. It's just like a little bit of like hunger and like it's just a little bit of drinking some water instead of eating 5,000 calories. It's just a little bit of looking at you, like actually sitting there in your body instead of focusing on the pretty girl, on the skinny girl, just being like, am I actually hungry? I'm actually not hungry because I have all of this excess weight and all of these fat stores that my body's not going to starve or waste away anytime soon. So instead of just eating because it's time to eat, it's lunchtime. Instead of and oh my god, I recorded this because I just watched Exoticals United's new video, and I even left a comment there too. Literally at my job that I left, like it was to the point where like the big back on my job was like trying to like tease me or like make it a running joke when one I would be eating healthy food. Like okay, it's funny to like what? What? You're over here eating like chicken tenders, and you're gonna try to make it a joke or make me the butt of the joke because I'm eating an avocado? Like what? Because I'm eating hummus? Are you dead serious? Like you're trying to make it like a quirk or a weird thing because it is so strange in your world to see somebody eating some peppers and some hummus. And I don't understand it. But then you see how I get treated and you want to get treated how I get treated. And but then you also have been zeroing in on me and you seen like my most recent glow up, my most recent level up. And you're seeing me getting treated better. And you want to trade places. You're trying to sabotage me. So obviously I'm doing something right enough. Right enough that you're hating. Because nobody's hating on the big back. Nobody's tracking the big back. Nobody's asking intrusive questions to the big back. And I just made a video, so be sure to go check that out. I made a video about how being big and having critiques on diets and health is just so like that's crazy work to me. So check that out if you haven't seen it yet. I just feel like they're just constantly having indigestion and constipation and gas because of their obsession with food, and it even makes their mind sluggish and unfocused. And then they're trying to put on this front like they're just so body positive. Oh yeah, everyone should feel so positively about their body, unless it's a skinny woman, unless it's a little petite, skinny, slim, thick queen, then she's an anti-black fascist? Like what? I made a video about that recently as well too. Check that out. The big back, loving every inch of her big back is seen as wholesome, while a skinny queen, loving the skin that she is in, gets turned into she's bragging. Like literally, you are bragging because it's like a subconscious thing that you're when you talk about being a big back and loving your big back, it's seen as like, oh yeah, you're just fighting through that struggle because everybody knows it's a struggle to be that freaking big. Everybody knows that your joints hurt. Everybody knows that your stomach hurts all the time and that you're not thinking clear. Everybody knows that. People have seen my 600-pound lives, and it's like even when you're not 600 pounds, if your proportions are looking crazy and you're very large, people in their mind, you know, hey, like who do you look closer to, a model or a cute influencer or something like that, or do you look closer to the people on my 600-pound life? Like who do you look more like? I'm not saying you're 600 pounds, but when you look like that and you're moving like that and you're trying to be shady like that, that's just what people see. So it's like, oh yeah, you're fighting through. Like they're thinking like, dang, how did you get so big? And like, people are thinking like, oh, I hope you're on a diet, or like, oh my God, have you talked to you look so inflamed, but you're not socially. It's like not socially allowed for you to ask about that. You're allowed to comment on a skinny person's plate of food that's keeping them skinny, but you can't comment on somebody's level of inflammation, in the fact that their joints must hurt, in the fact that they literally look like they're about to get diabetes or PCOS if they literally don't stop. And you can't say like, You can say things like, oh, that's not enough protein and I don't feel like you're eating enough. But you can't say, I feel like you've eaten enough food. You can't say, oh, well, I saw that if you keep eating all of that, if you keep drinking that sugary juice actually on a regular basis for 8 hours, you're like going to probably get fibroids or, cystic fibrosis or PCOS, or at the very least, if none of that happens, you're gonna stay fat. Like, you say, I thought you didn't want to be fat, like, but you can't talk to them like that. And it's like, it's not one-sided smoke. It's like a response. Like, so please don't ever come for me and say that, oh, why the world is fat phobic and this, that, and the third. Like, I actually, I actually feel so oppressed by Big Macs. I am not even gonna lie. Like, we should really have a support group for, like, I survived working with a Big Mac. I survived working for a Big Mac. Like, I am still here. Oh my God, because it's not for the weak, or being friends with a Big Mac, or having a Big Mac. Oh my, it's not for the freaking weak. Oh my God, I deserve a Girl Scout, a Pretty Girl Club, Pretty Girl Exotical badge of honor. I have earned my stripe. I just worked for my first Big Mac, because I'm not even gonna lie. When I was younger, I worked for a woman who was like very large. Like, she was literally no larger than this woman, but she was like a bigger girl leveled up, which is why please don't ever feel like I have an issue with big backs just in general, just because your back is large. She was like, literally, she's somebody to this day that I would like to date like her. Like, she was getting, like, she had her older man, and he was actually still, he was older, but he was still cute and fine, and he was spoiling her, and he was like chasing her. And like, I haven't talked to her in years. I gotta look her up and say, like, girl, what happened with you? But she was like a big girl who was lit. Like, and she was not a freaking hater. Like, she was like, I was smaller than her at the time. I was younger than her. And she was trying to encourage me to, like, make smart choices with my dating and stuff like that. And she was living a soft life. Like, she always had her nails done. Her hair was, oh my God, her hair was freaking. I just literally realized that her hair is part of uh my beauty standards, like my internalized beauty standard. That girl's hair was just so freaking cute. But see, I'm not a hater just because you're big. That bigger girl had the prettiest hair I ever seen in my life. Like, so serious. So, like, come on, don't try to act like. And I've been big before. When I'm talking to big backs, I'm talking to past Y worlds too. Like, I'm not just like, you big backs over there, because I'm a size 0 and always have been. Like, no, just don't be a freaking hater. Be a motivator. I'm trying to motivate you to don't be a big back, and instead unbig your back, and stop trying to get people who are unbigging or have unbigged their backs to rebig their back, because you don't want to be alone in your big backness. I'm trying to motivate you, not aggravate you. You know? It's got to be traumatizing to have a back that big. My back has been bigger at times, not as big as this girl that I'm thinking about, but not the lit girl, but, well, neither the lit girl or the unlit girl who was being mean to me. But um even still, it's like, for your own personal, like, everybody's body is different. When you're at your biggest, it's gonna feel like my 600-pound life. So I'm never judging. I'm not a size 0. I'm just saying, but I'm not a hater. No matter how big I was never a freak. Well, maybe I was a hater at some point, but I'm not a hater right now, and I have not been a hater for a long time in my adulthood. I feel like being a hater is like high school stuff. That's why I understand the psychology so well, because I'm not a hater anymore. I quit. The reason that they see you loving the skin that you're in as bragging inherently, even if you're not saying something that's like braggadocious or whatever, you're just like, oh yeah, like, I feel like, oh yeah, like, literally anything, just being happy and positive and feminine and sweet, and just like your regular self is looked at like, look at her, she's over there showing off, and she's flouncing around, and look at her being so feminine and cute and exotical, and people are looking at her and telling her she looks so skinny and so cute and pretty. And like, literally, me, I've noticed, like, like some a form of positive attention that you get when you're not a freaking big back, that they hate on, is I get a lot of positive attention for my cooking, my baking, my food, my diet, my drinks, because it's like, it's not necessarily the norm 100% where I live. Like, I don't live in LA where everybody is drinking green juice, everybody is doing a ginger shot and stuff. Not saying I do that stuff all the time, but you get positive attention. Like, comment down below, have you ever gotten positive attention for, like, obviously when you're not around haters, like I feel like men, this is a side tip, but like, okay, men will give you positive attention based on your diet and stuff like that. And it's like sometimes men will be more discreet with it and stuff and just give you positive attention. But I've had many men throughout my life like give me positive attention in the sense of being like, oh, you look like you taste good, or like, I bet you taste good because of like what you're eating or how hydrated you are. So then I realized that, okay, I guess men are also looking at women being like, she look like she tastes good. She look like she tastes salty. She look like she tastes like blubber nuggets. I'm wheezing. Oh, but the thing is, they don't feel positive about being 400 pounds. They know that being 400 pounds is not aspirational to anybody besides people who weigh 700 pounds. It's the only people who find that aspirational. So, sometimes it's like just a game of charades or chicken where they just want to see how much, you know, big back reparations they can get through being directly or indirectly rude and nasty to you as the pretty girl, asking you intrusive questions, getting in your business, trying to make you feel like, the feeling of like when you have a pimple like right in the front of your forehead or something like that. They feel like that all the time because they're 400 pounds and they want to make you feel like that. They're trying to make you feel ugly. You literally know you're not. They're trying to make you feel like you are. You know you're not fat. You know you're not unhealthy. You know you're that girl. They're trying to make you feel like you are not, though, because they hate that feeling. And when they feel that feeling, which is all the time, instead of them saying, like, literally, I'm the type of girl, I'm a planner. I'm going to write down, oh, I don't like this insecurity. I can change this by doing this. I need to buy this and do this. 6 months later, I don't have the insecurity anymore. Smarty pants, like, come on, why are you gonna be a hater? Stink, like, that's so stupid. I don't get it. It's triggering to them when they see you walking around with real genuine body positivity, because it exposes that, like, it's like, okay, they're being fake body positive and you're really body positive. So you're not allowed to be body positive because it exposes that there's this fake. It's like when somebody has like a moissanite ring, engagement ring or something right next to like a really big fat real diamond, like high clarity ring, like, or when somebody's wearing fake jewelry right next to people with like real jewelry. It's like, oh, okay, like, you're positive about your body positivity comes from the fact that you have beauty, you get positive attention, you feel healthy, you don't have any diseases, you are, you can go into the store and they're going to have your size and stuff like that. That makes you feel good. You see a lot of positive representation everywhere. You see girls doing great things who got the same body as you. You say, oh, girls are getting paid to have that body. They're on swimsuit magazine covers, they're acting, they're dancing in this video, they're, oh, okay, that's great. They don't see that. So they're like, oh my god, oh my god, it's exposing that I'm a fraud. Because it's like, when you let me think about all the things, um like, literally, I can I'm trying, but I can't think of one thing positive about being 400 pounds. I can't think of one positive thing about being a big back. Um, Besides, if you're like, if you used to be like a big back and now you're just like, you take away one big and now you're just one big back, or like if you used to have seven chins and now you just have a double chin, like, okay, then it's aspirational. Then, okay, I get that. But to me, it's like, you're not really body positive, and the only way that you're body positive is if you're like, I'm actually actively changing and I'm so proud of myself for not giving up, and I look in this mirror and I do these workout classes and I'm eating healthy, because so many people would just let themselves just keep getting bigger, and you're actually, you know, aging in revert, yeah, turning back the clock, and having better looking skin and firming things up, and you're getting fitter and you're glowing and stuff. That's a reason to be body positive. If you're watching my channel and you're a bigger person, you should feel very body positive every time you are the biggest person in the healthy environment. Every time you're the biggest person in the vegetable aisles, or the produce section, because you actually are trying to impact your life, your body. You should feel very body positive every time, you are losing a couple of pounds and even caring to check, and you're the biggest person in the workout class or something like that. You should feel body positive because you're like, well, hey, I may be big at this point, but literally if I just keep on these habits, if I just lock in, winter arc, if I lock in, then I literally will not be a big back pretty soon. And I'm not going to hate on other girls because I don't have time to hate on other girls. I'm busy unbigging my back. And I'm going to make this another video. I'm going to do like a part 2 or something to this, or split something else off, because this has become so long, but I'm so passionate about this topic. I'm loving this series. So if you have any video requests, of course, let me know down below. But of course, this is it for the video. So what do you think, ladies? Are you used to being treated like a local celebrity? Have you ever dealt with big backs giving you more attention in a strange way than they should and asking you intrusive questions? Have you ever asked a big back if they are concerned about the size of their back? Have you ever tried that? Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, worldies, eyes on the prize.